When I want to talk about creativity, I started with making vlogs. Then I went to study videos, then sit down videos about random things. But deep down, I just knew I wanted to share what I know and what I feel. I've always known, but never came at peace with it. All I heard were what ifs. What if I fail? What if nobody wants to listen to my boring poetry? What if nobody wants to watch anything I put out there? What if my friends judge me? So in so many ways, I did not really harness my own creativity, and I was trying to be other people and trying what worked for them. I ignored my deep love for writing poetry, writing down my lessons and talking about them. I was only passionate about them in silence. But really, what is creativity? Creativity is the ability to create or generate something new, original, and valuable ideas or solutions. It can show up in many forms. Artistic can be music, drawing, painting, writing. It can be problem solving, like creating new apps or having new and tested or experimented better ways of doing something. And lastly, everyday life, like new recipes, home decor, and many more. In this video, I talk about the art of creativity, what it entails, how I find my creativity, and a few things that you need to know to get started or to kickstart your creative journey. So I started practicing for making videos in 2019. I was practicing sit-down videos on my old Chromebook and talking about health topics. I've always been obsessed about being healthy and eating healthy and all that. So I thought that was something that will be my niche for upcoming years if I get the opportunity to post my videos. So I used to practice them, but they were not good enough. The camera was really bad and the lighting was even worse. And worse was I had a loud family that was always around, so it was really hard to film at that time, and I didn't have any idea how to make it better. Fast forward a year or two later, I started making study vlogs because I was obsessed with study vlogs. I am already obsessed with books and stationery, so you can imagine it was like, oh, I think this could really be my thing. So I started creating study vlogs and study with me's, and that also did not get me anywhere. As if I would give up. A few more years later, I decided that I was going to make vlogs, except for the fact that I shared rooms and it was really hard because I had a smaller space. But that would not stop me. I would still make vlogs and it would look a little crappy, but no, I lost happiness in that so quickly as well. Did I end there? No, I didn't. Another 2 years later, I started making sit-down videos like this because deep down I knew this is what I wanted to do, talk about something, but I just didn't have the courage to do it with my whole self. So I started making sit-down videos after watching so many other YouTubers who were making it by covering their face. So yes, what did I do? I was making sit-down videos by wearing nose mask. I thought that was going actually very great and I was getting a hang of it, but also no, I lost happiness quickly in it. And then I thought to myself, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I should just stick to writing my poetry and just writing in my journals and just taking pictures, because yes, I also love photography. But few months later, there's this urge that has been there ever since 2019 again, that you need to make videos and put it out there, and this time you need to do it better. And oh, something was telling me you don't have any excuse to say no or to stop this time because you have a better phone, a better microphone, better light. It's like everything was just made available to start right away, and this time was a little bit easier to stay on track with it. Here we are, about 15 videos later. I am still on this channel after 3 months, and that is such a miracle. There's one thing I know for a fact, that everybody is creative in a way. Okay, let me reframe that. I don't know everybody, but most people that I have seen are creative in certain ways. And I've seen people who do not know how creative they can be and always say that I wish I was creative like you, and try to copy others. But trust me, there's always something in there. There's always that problem solving self in there that can create something new and beautiful. And in this video, I am going to show you a few things that can make you identify that or make you harness that. First of all, you know what you want to create. It's in there. You've got to search and experiment. I know you're probably thinking the same thing I said like a few minutes ago, actually seconds. I'm probably not creative. I can't really do anything that much. But we are overlooking like so many other things. You think being creative is just creating or producing YouTube videos, editing and putting them out there, or being able to study for them and sit down and be able to talk to the camera, and you think it just happens in a day. You think people just learn in one day, or most people have always known that they're good with the camera and they just go ahead and they know how to take pictures, or people just come up with new recipes and cookbooks and you think it was just in there somewhere, or somebody taught them, or they went to chef school, or anything, any excuses, anything you may be putting your mind to is probably not what it is. People do not just bring up the creativity as it was from them. Some people may be talented or just naturally gifted, but it truly had to harness that gift into what it is right now. So yes, I had to learn how to film, edit and lighting and everything ever since 2019, and it's 2025. It's been what, how many years? About 7 years. I am not sure, you do the math, but it took me this long to be able to get this far and even make my videos, or even get my videos to look a little bit pleasing for you to watch. And also with photography, people don't just be good at taking photos. They have to learn at some point angles, lighting, color grading, all those things. And even with making new recipes, people who make recipes have to love food enough to know the flavors of each and every ingredient and know that if they put this and this together, it's going to actually taste wonderful and good. So this is a little bit of proof that you need to eventually harness that gift, but also creativity is buried deep inside. To bring it out, you'd have to search or experiment. Sometimes we may have multiple hobbies and think that I have so many hobbies, I don't know which one I can be really creative in. You never know. Even something as simple as knowing how to sew can help you to upscale old clothes or thrifted clothes. That is such a great creativity, and I love upscaling videos on TikTok. So that is another way of being creative. It is always in there. You need to keep experimenting. I have experimented so many things. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I experimented so many niches for my own creative space, that is creating videos, and it could be anything for you. That is why all trial and errors are not errors forever. You need to trial and error in order to one time to be able to trial and succeed. Someone's viral style is not yours. If you really heard me from the beginning, you know that I tried so many viral styles because those things were working at that time, to the extent that I would search maxed YouTubers who like cover their faces but then they are successful. I read articles about them because I was so nervous to put myself out there and hear what people are going to think about me. So yes, all the viral study with me, study vlogs, lifestyle videos, all those things you're seeing, all those influencer videos, they're probably not for you, and you may be thinking about it, you may be trying it. Maybe other things like photography or photo editing, graphic design, all these things are probably not for you, and you may be exploring or thinking about those sides. There's so many other things. If you're able to list down your hobbies, maybe you can go through them and practice them and try to find the one that you're most creative with, one that brings out the real you, and you can just learn to progress in it effortlessly. Learn to harness that creativity. Now, when you find something that you are most creative with, or you can be, or you're willing to learn to be creative with or in, learn to harness it. Take your time to practice, get conversant, grow, learn more. That is your only phrase that you need. learn more. If it's photo editing, you learn more about color grading, you learn more about color contrast, how putting two different colors together make something look professional, casual, happy, childish, all those things. You need to learn more. And if you're upscaling clothes and that is your style of creativity, by the way, this top is upscale, you need to learn how to sew, where to pin things together, or where to let loose, like all these things. And happily, there are so many ways that we can do that these days. There's so many channels where we can learn these things from. You can just search anything, any creative space you want to explore on YouTube, on TikTok, and now there are platforms like Skillshare, there's Udemy, there's Coursera. I've mentioned these before in my previous videos, but these things are very helpful. I have explored them myself, and I wish I was telling a lie when I say that I have learned so much from these spaces. So learn to grow your creativity, try to learn more, be open to new ideas and exploring them. Remember, creativity is the ability to generate something that is original. And lastly, be patient with yourself. The more you fail, the more experiences, and the more you go through the process, the faster the success. No, in the beginning, you may think that the more you fail, the more things will never work for you. But I tell you, the more you fail, the more you learn, the more experiences you gain, and also the faster you fail, the faster your success. So keep learning and keep making mistakes right now. If you're going to try something right now, or try something today, explore a creative field today, and you're going to just fail at it at the moment, and then give up and take 2 weeks, a month, or 2 months and come back to that same thing, you're slowing your process of failing. I know this sounds so bad, but trust me, the faster you fail, the faster you succeed. Because during those times of failures, you're learning how to correct them and how to make them better. And eventually, you're going to get over all those mistakes and make them into something better. And as you move on to, or learn new experiences with those things that you have corrected, and that makes you a better creative person. So yes, it is okay to keep failing at something, because if I didn't keep failing at what I was doing all these while, I wouldn't be able to easily edit my videos or know how to position my lighting. I film, edit, and direct my own videos. I check the sounds. I literally do everything for myself. This may not be much right now, but I'm so proud of myself because it took a long time. It took a lot of mistakes, a lot of giving up, a lot of thinking about how editing is so difficult, a lot of thinking about how my sound or my audio is like really bad because I didn't have a better microphone by then, and I couldn't tell the better one to use. I didn't know the better equipment to buy. I bought one very weak tripod at the beginning of all this, and eventually I was able to have access to these things later on. I could tell the differences between the better tools and the weaker ones, and the ones that were just not necessary at all. These are things I've learned in the process, and I'm able to tell you this easily because I have learned from these experiences, and I've gained so much from failing and trying to correct those mistakes. The journey and the process of finding your art or your creativity can be a very rough one, because it is a learning process. You need to start from the top, figure out what creative space you want to be in, how you want to be in that creative space, learn how to harness your creativity, ditch all viral trends and find your own trend, and be genuinely patient with yourself. There are so many things as humans we are even trying to learn. Even people at 30 years start over their lives again, because being at 30 doesn't mean that they know everything. And so if you're younger, or even at 30, or even more than 30, still you have a chance to be patient, to learn the things that you want to learn, and be the creative person that you want to be. This is the end of today's video. I hope you were able to take something valuable, and I'll see you in the next video.